morning. Okay, welcome to Friday Flow class. The sun is out, I'm happy girl. So just going to wait and see who is going to join us today. Let's enjoy our Friday flows. A little bit more energetic than our classes through the week. Let's turn that around a bit. So who have we got coming on today? Hello. Scratching my butts. Hello, Ali. Morning Ali. Morning, Claire. Morning, Sue. Good. Oh, you've all jumped on together. Nobody was there, and then everyone came. Judith. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, lovely Claire, to you too. Right back at you. Good morning, Sue from London. Do you like that? Morning, Ruth. Morning, Janet. Morning, Judith. This is great. Morning, Claire. So we've got like Ireland, Scotland, England, Spain. Morning, Anna. Morning, Maureen. Hello. Maureen Morrison, Jill Bird. Hi. And McKenna's back on again. This is fab. Look at you all coming in. Great. Lots of waves coming in. Fab. Please excuse me if I fiddling with my ankle. I was gardening yesterday and I've not been so bad like the last few weeks, but yesterday some monster really had a good chew at my ankle, like a really good chew. Whatever is out this year are evil. It's not like the mosquitoes. These things are really evil, whatever out and chewing right now. We've all been bitten really badly. So you know when you wake up at night and you're burning and itching. So I have got some cream on, but it's not working. Good morning, Reen. Reen, is that how you pronounce that? Reen. Caroline, Brenda, Bailey watching, and good morning, lovely Jane Potter. We got our Friday flow, and I thought we would repeat the flow that we did the first week that we did it, our first Friday flow. So, some of you have been in here right from the start, so you'll be very familiar with our triangles and warriors and salutations. So, please listen to your own body. You need to. Don't push through any barriers, but do challenge yourself a little bit. Yes, Jan, happy days, happy Friday. Why? Even when every day is the same, when it's Friday, it's like, oh, it's something special, it's Friday, it's the weekend. It's so funny, isn't it? Nick, on our top terrace one day, before lockdown finishes, go and have a day out on the top terrace with a picnic basket. Right, okay, should we start? Should we get on the feet? So we're going to start on the feet, and we're going to start straight in with the sun salutations. So no joint moving, no flow, we're just going to get straight in and salute to that big orange warm thing in the sky. So let us go. So we are coming to the short top of your mat. I don't even know if I said this to friends only, so I was restricting it to friends only, so let's hope we don't get any dodgy comments on. Okay, so we are at the short end of the mat. Let me fix this a little bit. So yesterday I was talking about sun salutation, so hopefully you will join me for that and you're going to be very familiar, but our sun salutation is our yoga warm-up. So like always, I'm going to take the first one nice and slow and really open up into it, really feel what's going on, and then we shall start to add on to our sun sals for our flow. So find your Tadasana, your mountain pose, engage into the ground, feel the connection of the feet to the earth. I never ever mentioned, I don't think, other than the first day, we practice yoga in bare feet. Okay? A, it helps stop any slipping, so stops accidents. And even when your socks are stuck to the mat, your feet slide within your socks, so it's always much, much safer to practice bare feet. But also you want to feel the floor, you want to feel the mat, so let the toes connect. You want to move the toes and connect them. Draw the energy up the legs, engage the thighs, the bum, the belly. Lift up nice and tall, hands together, thumbs to the heart, deep breath in. And exhale. And inhaling, soften those knees, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, fingers to sky. Exhale, fold from your hips, the bottom pushes away. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Take those hands down either side of the feet. Relax the neck. Right leg, we're going to take a big step to the back of your mat with that right foot. Knee drops down. Point those toes back behind you and then lengthen. You don't want to get lazy here. You don't want to collapse over that thigh. So really think about lengthening your spine, lifting out through the top of your head. Notice how those hips are feeling today. Quads, hip flexors. Nice deep breath. Tuck those back toes under, lift the knee, hands on the floor, step back with the left leg into your plank. Shoulders over wrists, belly is lifting. Remember, half plank's always available with the knees on the floor. Engage here, a few breaths. And then this little technique we talked about yesterday. Push into those toes, bring the shoulders forward a bit, drop the knees, lift the bum, squeeze the elbows in, and with control, lower the chest to the floor. On your inhale, cobra, slide the heart forward, lift the heart, shoulder blades, sliding back towards the hips. Tuck the toes, lift the bum into your downward facing dog. First down dog of the day, so let's just walk it out here. So a little walk of the dog, dropping one heel, dropping the other heel. Stretching out through the calves, move the ankles, the knees, the hips. And then come into stillness. Remember to draw your belly up. You don't want to drop into your lower back. Draw the rib cage in. Belly is active. Right leg, we're going to lift that leg up. Hug the thigh into the chest. Create that height between the floor and your belly. Step that foot to the top of the mat. Left knee down. Long spine. Few breaths. That's nice, isn't it? I think Katie's just joined us. Morning, Katie. Tuck the back toes. Lift that left knee. Step it forward into your forward fold. So you exhale. Chest stays low. Nose to toes. Hands together. So remember, if you're feeling strong, you've got a good back, you can extend those arms out to lift up. Otherwise, keep the hands close to the chest. Push into the feet, pull in the belly, come all the way up, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands down to the sides. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Open the heart. Exhale, fold to the floor. Left leg to step back. Knee comes down, spine is long. Right leg to step back into your plank. Belly engaged, thighs lifting. Move those shoulders. Please lift the bum, squeeze the elbows in. With control, lower to the floor. Inhaling, slide the heart forward, lift the heart, cobra. Pubic bone pressed into the floor, okay? Thighs stay on the floor. Tuck the toes, lift the bum. Downward dog. So feel the energy from your hands drawing up the arms. Upper arms turning down, belly is in. And left foot. Hug that thigh into the chest and step it forward between the hands. Right knee comes down to the floor. hair's itching my face today. Let those hips drop forward. Lengthen through the spine. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee and bring that right foot to join the left. Use your exhale to fold deep. And your inhale, pressing into the feet and lifting all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands down. That's your first full round of sun salutation done. I am going to take off a layer because it's going to get warm. So we're going to start to add on now in our second round. So hands together, inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Exhale is really important. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. So we're going to start to make some changes. Right leg step back, knee is down. Press into that front foot. Zip up through the belly. Lift the chest away from the thighs. Let the hip bones lift up so you can feel a stretch in the hip flexor. Hands together and inhaling. Lift those arms, lift the rib cage away from the waist, lift the heart. Nice stretch. Engage into the floor. Remember that front foot is pushing down and forward. It's going to help stabilize. Bring those hands down to the floor and lift your bum back and up. Front toes are lifting. So your hips has moved back over your back knee. You straightened out that front leg and those front toes are moving up towards the face. So you feel a nice stretch in the hamstring and the calf. My ankles are red raw with these nasty bites that I got yesterday. I can feel the heat. A few breaths. I know you're not interested in my ankles, are you? Okay, take that foot back down to the floor. Hands either side, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, step it back to plank. And shoulders forward, knees drop, bum lifts, belly up. With control, lower down to the floor. Tuck those elbows in, we don't want them out to the side. Inhale, slide the heart forward in up cobra, shoulders back and down. Neck is long. Tuck the toes, lift the bum. Downward facing dog. So your crown, your head is between your arms, so your ears, kind of the inside of your elbows. Neck stays long. Right leg forward. Left knee to the floor. Push down into that foot, down and forward, pull in the belly, lift the chest. Okay, hands together, hip bones lift up, belly zips up. Inhale, raise the arms, raise the heart, shoulders down away from the ears, big space between shoulders and ears. Few breaths. And bring those hands to the floor, hips travelling back, bum is lifting high, so you don't want to drop the bum down towards that back heel, it's staying high. Front leg straightens, those toes come up off the floor. Push down into your left knee. If you push your left knee down into the floor, it's going to lift your right hip a little bit higher so you feel that stretch. Come a little bit further up that leg. Few breaths here. Doesn't matter if you don't have straight leg, like I've got quite a bend in this knee. And we're going to bring that foot down to the floor, tuck the toes, lift the knee, step it forward, fall forward. Inhaling all the way to the top. Exhaling, hands down to the sides. Exactly the same on the other side. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg step back. Knee is down, lift the chest, lift the arms. So let it be a bit faster. And hands to the floor. Straighten that leg, lift the toes, bum lifts high. Foot to the floor, hands to the floor, step back to plank. Belly is in. Stabilize through the shoulders. Don't drop down to the lower back. Move them forward, knees to the floor, belly up, bum up. Squeeze those elbows in tight as we lower. And inhale, heart lifts. Downward dog. Left foot to step to the top of your mat. Right foot, right knee to the floor. Pull in the belly, push down into the feet. Ground. We ground, then we grow. Few breaths. And bring those hands down. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, step it forward into your forward fold. Use your exhale here. And your inhale lifts you to the top. Exhale. Remember, if you have any lower back problems, you always come in and out of your forward fold with bent knees all the time. Okay, let's make some changes. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale to lift. Exhale, fold forward. Right leg step back. Knees down. Pull in the belly. Hands together. Lift the chest. This part is the same. Hands to the floor. Hips travel back. Toes come off the floor. Nose to toes. And take that foot back down. Tuck the back toes. Step back to plank. Knees to the floor. Chest to the floor. So you've got toes, knees, chest and chin on the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. This is where we are going to start to change. I am going to whiz around, otherwise I'll end up facing the wall. Right foot is going to step to the top of your mat. Left knee stays off the floor. Ground, so push down into that front foot. Push down to those back toes. Your left heel is up off the floor. Pull in your belly. Lift the chest. We've got high lunge. So instead of having that back knee on the floor, we're up here high. Want to come down low. So we're aiming to get a right angle in your front knee. Might be that you're up here, that's okay. But come down as low as you can. This back knee is going to lower towards the floor. It's not going to touch. And then we're going to extend that heel out. Now look what's happening. I'm not coming up and down. I'm not changing the angle in this front knee. I am lengthening that back heel, dropping it down, knee towards the floor. Push through that back heel, straighten the leg, drop down, knee towards the floor. Pushing through. So I'm moving a little bit, but this angle in this front knee is remaining the same. Should we do 20 more? No? Okay. And push into that back heel, and then you're going to swivel that back foot down to the floor. Try and keep this knee travelling over your front toes as you swivel that heel down and out. So into a warrior leg position. Straighten that front leg. So your right toes are pointing straight up to the top of your mat. Your left toes are turning in, your left heel pressing down onto the floor. Take those arms out shoulder height. Skim those hips to the left. Reach out to the right. Remember, we've got this invisible wall behind us, so our shoulders are staying against the wall as we reach, 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 reach. Right hand down, left hand to the sky. Imagine that wall behind you. Your left shoulder blade is pressed against the wall. So a heart knot to the floor. Moving the rib cage, chest and shoulders up to the sky. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Few breaths. To our triangle pose, Trikonasana. Bend in that right knee, push into the foot, come all the way up, and then all 10 toes facing the long edge of your mat. So your feet are parallel, hands onto the hips. Inhale, lift up. Exhale from your hip joints, fold forward. Soft knees, Bum is high. Oh my gosh, we've got New Zealand on the line. Hi, Catherine. Catherine's stuck in New Zealand. Let's say stuck. Looks amazing. Soften those knees. Lift the bum higher. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the floor. You might be here. Remember, if you have unmedicated high blood pressure or you suffer with any eye-related conditions like glaucoma, you're going to stay a bit higher. Otherwise, we let everything soften to the floor. Let the neck relax, the head relax. Your inhale is going to try and lift your tailbone higher, straighten through the legs. Your exhale, you're gently pushing down into the floor. So if you're trying to push the floor down and forward, you're going to bring your chest further between the legs. Next inhale, we're going to lift up halfway. Long spine. Exhale, hands to the hips. Pull in the belly. Inhale all the way up to the top. Turn those right toes out. Left toes in. And we're going to turn the whole body to the right. It's going to take a little step in with this back foot. Just a little step. And then lift your back heel. And as you move your hips to the right, let your left foot swivel around as well. So you're up on those back toes, but your hips are facing the short edge of your mat. And we want to take that left heel down to the floor. So if we need to take a little step in, take that step in. So both feet now are placed firmly on the floor. Your hips are pointing straight ahead, lifting up with the inhale. Fold from your hips with the exhale. So imagine someone is drawing you forward from your heart, from your breastbone. Fold forward, shoulders back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Squeeze those elbows together. I'm going to keep the chest open. I want to collapse into the chest. Feels good. You can take the hands on the hips and squeeze the elbows towards each other. Each exhale brings you a little bit lower. Watch the direction of your hips. As you go lower, your left hip is going to want to lift up and your right hip droops down. So your left hip traveling towards the floor, push that right hip up into your hand and you'll feel a stretch through that hamstring, the right leg. You might feel it in the calf of your back leg. Okay, bend that right knee, take the hands to the floor, step back into your plank. And knees, chest and chin to the floor. Inhaling, cobra. You've lost me a bit, it's okay, I'm going to turn around now. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Pull in those lower ribs. Hips are high. Turning round so I'm not facing the wall in a minute. Okay, left leg. Step it forward. Nice knee bend in that left knee. In the belly. Lift the chest. Sink down low. Remember, we want to try and keep this right angle. Right knee to the floor. Push that heel away. So I'm not touching the floor with this right knee. I'm just hovering off the floor and pushing away. I'm not increasing the angle in this front knee. All the work is being done in that back leg. We want the belly in. We want the chest lifted. 2 more. And last one. Going to straighten that front leg and turn that right heel down towards the floor. So we've got our legs set up for triangle. Your left toes pointing straight out, they haven't moved. Your right toes turning in at 45 degrees, arms out, shoulders down, reach through those fingers. Let these hips slide to the right as we reach the left. Reach, 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 reach. As we reach here, you feel a stretch in the inside of that left thigh. Left hand comes down. Zip up, pull in the belly, roll the ribs and chest. Right hand reaches up. Exhale, fold deeper. Few breaths. Are you breathing? Can't hear you. Bend that left knee, push into the foot, come all the way to standing. All 10 toes facing forward, so you've got parallel feet. This time, take those shoulder blades together, interlock the fingers behind you, so the hands are clasped together. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale, fall forward, hands stay together, halfway. Lift the tailbone, lengthen through the spine. Exhale all the way over. Few breaths. So those arms might lift an inch. They might be hands facing up towards the sky, or they might coming down towards the floor. It's creating some flexibility and openness in the shoulders. Remember to lengthen the spine, lengthen the legs. Next inhale, halfway up. Hands reaching back behind you. Next inhale, all the way up. Reach the hands towards the floor, lift the heart. And release the legs. Turning those left toes back out towards the top of the mat. Taking a little step in with that right foot and turning those hips to face the top of your mat. So lift that back heel. Turn all the way forward and lower that heel towards the floor. If you can't get the heel on the floor, remember, take that little step in. So you want your toes and hips to face the same direction. Shoulder blades together, elbows together, zipping up. Folding from your hips, exhale, fold forward. Squeeze those shoulders together. Remember, you can place hands on the hips. This gives you some idea of where the hips are traveling. So your right hip is going to want to lift up. Take it down. Both hips level. Exhale, fold deeper. Few breaths. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. And push into that front foot. Pull in the belly. Come all the way up. Release those hands, take them down to the floor, step back into your plank, knees drop down, belly up, chest towards the floor with control, and inhale, cobra, squeeze those elbows in, shoulders down, downward dog, exhale. I'm going to do my whiz around so I'm not facing the wall when we come up. Stay there in your downward dog, few breaths. Okay, right foot, Virabhadrasana A or Warrior A. Inhale to take that right foot all the way up. Drop that left heel to the floor. Got a nice knee bend in that right knee. Pull in the belly, lift the chest. So we've got our warrior legs. Press down into the outside edge of that back foot. Your front knee travelling over those middle toes. Your hip bones lifting. Your belly pulling in. Hands together. Inhale, lift your sword high as warrior. Carry your sword over your head. Drop those hips a little bit deeper. Few breaths. Engage into the floor. Find your grounding. Feel your breath. One more breath. Keeping those legs exactly where they are. We're going to turn to the left, bringing the arms down, shoulder height, warrior two. As you've turned, I know this right knee will have wanted to roll in. So we're going to take that knee back out towards the little toe. Arms out, shoulder height. Reach through those fingers. Remember, pelvic floor, belly, lower ribs in. Gaze towards your right fingertips. Few breaths. So when we practice our yoga, we involve the whole of the body. Just because you can't see that left arm doesn't mean to say it shouldn't be working. So that left arm might be coming a little bit lower, a little bit lower. Lift it up. Turn your gaze back to the front and make sure your ribs and chest are facing the long edge of the mat. We're going to start to reach to the right. Reach, 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 reach. Elbow on the thigh, or hand can come on the thigh. Either way, wherever you are. And that left arm lifts up and over the ear. So we've got this good extended side angle posture. Nice stretch on the outside of your left ankle, up the outside of the leg, the hip, the waist, the ribs, the shoulder, the fingertips. And then draw that shoulder down away from your ear. Your rib cage and your heart facing up towards the sky. If you're very open in your hips, if you've been practicing yoga a long time, you might want to bring this right hand down to the floor at the outside of your right foot, but don't take it to the floor and compromise your posture and turn over. Okay, so I'd rather you be here and have that nice open chest. Everybody, this left hand, we're going to travel it down to the floor. So as the left hand comes down, lift the left heel, swivel around on those toes so we don't twist the knee, and step it back to plank. Whoa, is that right leg so? And drop knees, chest, chin to the floor, and cobra, shoulders back. Tuck the toes, lift the bum, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. As Dion does her U-turn around the mat. Pressing through those fingers. Lift the bum high. Remember, if you're tight in your hamstrings, bend your knees and lift the bum. I'd rather you have a nice length in your spine rather than straight legs and be all rounded. Left leg, this is the last one. Last side of our flow. Left leg, stepping forward. Right heel to the floor. Warrior one legs. Bend that left knee to the floor. Find your grounding. Pull in the belly. Lift the chest. Lift those hip bones. Feel the stretch. Hands together. So your ribs, chest and shoulders facing forward towards the long edge. Hands together. Lift your sword high, shoulders down away from your ears. So we've got lots of things happening. We're trying to create length and height, but then we're using these muscles under the shoulders to draw the shoulder blades down. Few breaths here. Remember, we're zipping up pelvic floor and belly and upper abdominal muscles, all active. Active. You might feel some little tremblings happening. That's okay. We're going to turn our body from the waist. We're going to twist from your waist to face the long edge of your mat. We're twisting right. Okay, arms down, shoulder height. Just need to adjust my feet slightly. Warrior two. So just check this left knee hasn't rolled in because that's where it wants to go. Open it up towards the little toe side of the foot. Reach out with those fingers. Pelvic floor, long spine, reaching up with the head. Few breaths, shoulders down. And then we're going to travel into our side angle posture, Parsvakonasana. So we're going to reach with that left hand. Don't look to your left. If you look, your body will turn. So we're going to keep everything facing the long edge. Reach, 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 reach. Elbow on the thigh or hand, that feels better. Right hand on the hip, roll. Suck in like you're doing a crunchy sit-up. Suck everything in and then roll the ribs and chest to the sky. Lift that right arm up and bring it over the ear and reach through those fingertips. Few breaths. Are you breathing? Are you extending? Right hand, you're going to bring it down to the floor. We're going to lift that back heel as we let that foot swivel around. All 10 toes facing the same direction. Step it back to plank, our last plank. Knees down, bum high. With control, forgot what I was going to say. With control, belly up. Lower the chest down to the floor, elbows squeezing in. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra, shoulders sliding back towards the hips. Neck is long. And pushing onto the hands and knees. Knees open as wide as your mat. Bum to heels. Big toes together, bum to heels. Reach those fingers forward. Let the heart drop down. This is active. Have you really finding some stretch from your hips all the way along your spine to your fingertips? Walking your hands back towards your knees. As you do, you're lifting the head and lifting the chest. Bring those knees together and bring the legs in front. Oh, we're here, we're on the floor, we did it. Well done, well done. Let me know how you got on with your flow. So I don't know what it is with these yoga pants, but this leg always rides up higher than the other leg. I don't know where it is all the time. Maybe I've got one leg longer than the other. Okay, so our Dandasana pose, staff pose, and take the flesh away from those sit bones. Remember, if you need a cushion or a blanket to lift your hips a little bit higher so you can get a straighter spine, so you want to lift up from the lower belly, all the way up the spine, up through the crown of the head. Toes are flexed, so they're coming towards the shins. Hands down next to the hips. A few breaths here. So on my little picture today, when I advertised this class today, I had a picture, a little cartoon picture of someone in a pose called crow pose. She was drinking a cocktail out of a straw in the picture. I'm wondering if anyone wants to have a little go at that pose one day next week. If you fancy it, drop me a little comment in after we finish class, of course, because at the moment we're yogaing pelvic floor up. Okay, from your hip joints. This is really hard. Just to stay here, you should be feeling heat. Okay, if you're not finding this challenging and you're not getting heat in your body, there's something you're not activating. So make sure the toes are back, pushing through the heels. We're engaging through the legs. Pelvic floor is key. It's like, you call it Mula Bandha. In yoga we have, well, in the body we have internal energy locks. Our lowest one is down at the root. It's called Mula Bandha. So the easiest way to try and get around that is by engaging the pelvic floor. Now this isn't exactly where your Mula Bandha is, but it's as close as we're going to get without too much detail. So pelvic floor is up, spine is long, ribs are in, lifting up through the crown of the head and then pushing down to the floor. And your chin is slightly lowered. So we've got this energy lock on here in the throat. So you have three. We'll have one at the root, one at the solar plexus, and one at the throat. When these energy locks are in, you create a lot of heat in your body. Okay, from the hips, we're going to start to fold forward. So imagine you're trying to bring your rib cage towards your thighs. You walk the hands forward a space, rib cage towards thighs, walk the hands forward a space. If you're really tight with your hamstrings, bend those knees a little bit more so you can lengthen through the spine. Maybe you can take hold of the lower legs. Maybe you can reach the toes. You might be able to wrap your hands around your feet, but I don't want this to happen if it compromises your back posture. We're lengthening and reaching. Shoulders down and back. Are we still breathing? Pelvic floor active. I say it all the time because I'm really lazy in my core, so I always forget pelvic floor and abdominals. So I say it all the time to remind me as well as you. On your next inhale, lift up, reach those arms to the top, bring the hands back down and bend those knees. So we're going to bring the feet to the floor. Hands are going to come back about a hand's distance behind your hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Shall move forward a little bit so you can see. Fingers can be forward or back, depends on your wrist, but please don't have your fingers out to the side, so the forward or the back. My preference is forward. Your feet are hip distance apart. We're going to push down into the feet and down into the hands, and the bum lifts off the floor. We're going to push the knees forward. As we push the knees forward, we push into the feet, we push into the hands, and we lift the thighs, and we lift the hips, and we lift the belly, and we squeeze those shoulder blades back and together. Now, depending on your neck, the full posture, we let the head drop back, we look at the sky. I don't like how this... Oh, I think I lost you a bit then. We went off, did we? We went off. Hope connection's been okay today. Seem to have lost you for a moment then. Okay, if we do lose you, we are almost finished now. We're going to come down, bum onto the floor. Oh. Hug in those knees. Squeeze the thighs into the chest, and we are going to roll, but don't let your head touch the floor. And we roll back up, don't let your feet touch the floor. We roll back, don't let your head touch. Roll up, don't let your feet touch. So you engage in some core strength, massaging the muscles in the back, the internal organs, the kidneys, the digestive system, stimulate the nervous system. One last time to come down and staying down. Head comes down, feet come down. We're going to let both knees, so bring the knees together and both knees drop over to the right side. Left shoulder staying on the floor, back of that left shoulder staying on the floor. If it feels okay, look over the left shoulder. Let's take this nice twist. So the further away you have your knees from your body, you're going to twist more the lower back. If this feels comfortable and you want to intensify a bit, those knees come higher towards that right shoulder, but please make sure your left side doesn't lift off the floor, because then you lose your twist. Bring both knees centre and over to the opposite side. Knees to the left, right shoulder on the floor, looking over that right shoulder if it's okay in the neck. Few breaths. And bring it back centre. And there is our Friday flow done. Take a moment for your Shavasana. Shavasana is really important after your class. I know it's tempting to just get up and busy yourself before the next thing, so just take a moment. You can stay here for as long as you like, so it might just be a couple of breaths with me, just really try and relax everything to the floor. Or you might want to stay there 5, 10, 15 minutes all morning. If you want to come up, bend the knees, roll onto your right side, and bring yourself all the way up to seated. Hands to the heart. If you've brought yourself up to seated, let's take a few breaths here. Inhale, hands out and up to the sky. Exhale to the heart. Inhaling out and up. Exhale to the heart. Inhale out and up. Exhale to the heart. Taking hands behind the back, take hold of one wrist with the opposite hand. Let the head and chest bow down towards the floor. Take a moment for your gratitude today. I have so much to be grateful for today. First and foremost, take some time to give thanks to yourself. Give some gratitude for just getting on your mat today, for giving yourself this time and place for you to practice your yoga. And to think of 3 things in your life that you feel grateful for today. If you haven't thought of your 3 things yet, I want you to spend some time today just thinking about your gratitudes and making a little note. A few blinks to open the eyes, lift the head, lift the chest, release the hands, palms together. Thank you so much for joining me again for your yoga today. How many days have we done? 32 classes now, so thank you. No class tomorrow, Saturday day off. Sunday we have our yin yoga practice at 5:30 UK, 6:30 Spain. Nice, relaxing, stretchy yoga practice. So I shall see you on Sunday. If you're going to join me then, have a really lovely weekend. Stay happy, stay healthy. Namaste. Thank you.